Welcome to another episode of Practical Astrology for You. I am your friend Tapan. Today I will be elaborately talking about the significances of Lal Kitab. I don't know about everybody, but many people are aware of Lal Kitab. But still, for who don't know, I want to tell you all something about this book. The author of this book was Pandit late Shri Rupchand Joshi ji. And he was born in Jalandhar, if I am not wrong, and his mode of communication was Urdu. And this book significance is very significant because it is mostly about remedies, which we term in the local language as totkas. Means it's different from what we do in Vedic astrology, and he has written everything in poetry form, and it's very lucid. The language is very simple, and many people have different views regarding what he did and why he did and how he did it. But basically I am very fond of the way he has given the thing. It's very simple to understand, and every layman can do those things, the remedies. As such, if I compare with the Vedic astrology and the Vedic type of remedies, where we do donations, we wear gemstones, we do mantras, we do fastings, these type of things are in Vedic astrology, and there are many do's and don'ts for Vedic astrology. Means this chanting can't be done in this special period, women can't do this chanting, other caste people can't do this chanting. These type of barriers are there, but in Lal Kitab there is no such barrier, there is no taboo as such, and all the remedies are like you have to wear something, or you have to bury something, or you have to put something in flowing water, and basically it's free for everyone can do. But the only thing is which we have to keep in mind is either it is done for 40 days or 43 days, or it's done for 40 weeks, or it's done for 43 weeks. And why 43 days, 40 days, 43 days? Because 40 means the number 4, it signifies Rahu, and the number 7 signifies Ketu. So he has actually given a lot of importance to Rahu and Ketu. So you all have to understand where his main focus was. Even I do the same, because I think Lal Kitab was the first book which I bought. This is from some English version, Pandit Shashi Mohan Behal, Lal Kitab. So he has translated it in English and published it, and the publisher is most probably Dheeraj Publication. It's an old book I have bought. It's not a second hand. Means I think it's with me for the past 10. I haven't written the date. Nearly 10 years with me. So it's a nice book. Means the printing is not so good, but I had bought it from the railway station, AHVLF people. So there was another Hindi book also I bought. Then the main book I got it from Amazon. That is something around, I think 1600 and 1800 costed me that time. I don't know what it is costing right now. The original Lal Kitab, that's in Hindi. So that's a very nice book, which I feel, but that's very tough to understand, Decipher. And since I had bought these books earlier, then it was very easy for me to buy that book. Otherwise, if someone buys that book for the first time and he doesn't know anything about it, he will get misled. So that's how it differs from people to people, from where you reach to which situation. Means if you haven't got that much of knowledge and you see something like Brahma, you won't be believing him. But if you start from the beginning, and you attain Brahma, that's how it differs. So everything is like, means our life is simple and it's also complicated. At times it's simple. That's why while predicting and while saying something, I always keep low IQ. I explain it in that sense that a person with a low IQ can also understand those things. It's not that I have that low IQ, because it doesn't mean that the other person is having a low IQ. Means regarding astrology, he has a low IQ. I'm not saying that someone is not as learned as I am. Many people are more educated than I am, but their understanding of astrology is very less. Someone is specialized in some particular, if someone is a scientist, he has specialized in that particular field. He might not be, and he could also be a very good astrologer also. Nothing is impossible in this world. I was not an astrologer from my birth. So it varies. At a certain age, people start doing astrology. It happened the same with me also. And from time to time, I started understanding these things. And mostly, coming back to the Lal Kitab actually, mostly it happens that people don't understand the significance. You see, when a planet is malefic or it's showing negative results, then the items denoted regarding that particular planet, if you donate that, means throw it in running water, then the negative effects start healing actually. The planet starts healing and it starts giving good results. That's the motto of Lal Kitab. He has a very simple logic behind working. So it's not that okay you have to follow Vedic astrology, because even when I see the predictions regarding every house, every planet, the Lal Kitab predictions are very true. They are easy to understand. Like the whatever was the reason behind me becoming an astrologer, for reach to that conclusion actually. It took me nearly from 2015, it is 8 years. It took me 8 years to understand why I became an astrologer and how I became an astrologer, the exact logic behind that. I had a clue that okay, my Jupiter was the reason of me becoming an astrologer. That's for sure. But why? Because Mercury doesn't make you an astrologer actually. And that's not so easy. I became an astrologer because at the time when my Mahadasha of Mercury started, but that was not the reason. Means you have to, your Jupiter has to awaken up, then only you can become an astrologer. Then only you can do right predictions and you can suggest right remedies. So it was not coming, means the logic was not coming to me. I was thinking that okay, my Ketu is with my Jupiter, so somehow it got activated. So I'm learning astrology. I'm getting those vibes from my past life since I was an astrologer. But that was not it. It was because the Mercury is positioned in the second house. So my 9th house winds came. It is the fruit of the 9th house, Mercury. So I became an astrologer. The fruit has ripened and I got that fruit. My 9th house Lord was active when I was born, means I was 4 years or something. After that my Mercury Mahadasha started. My Jupiter Mahadasha started at the age of 4. So that time I didn't become an astrologer. I used to do palmistry, that's for sure, but I was not an astrologer. Why I couldn't become an astrologer at that time? I was struggling to become an astrologer or a palmist. But in the Mercury Mahadasha, I became it because that plant has been planted at that time when I was 4 years old. Jupiter Mahadasha came, the plant grew, whatever size it had to grow, it grew. And it started fruiting only after 2015. The fruits came after that time. So I can say the day my Mercury Mahadasha started, the plant started giving fruits. That's how. And that I came to know from Lal Kitab. That's why I give it so importance, because every time it's always true, wherever you put the thing. Vedic astrology fails in many places. The predictions they have written in books, okay, this planet if predicted and this, the prediction should be this, many times they don't come true. Why they don't come true? But for Lal Kitab it is always true. That means it is giving much more accuracy. So if some system is more accurate, you should rely on that rather than spending your whole time and wasting your energy to achieve something. And on top of that, most of the astrologers, they are trying to mislead because they have become commercialized. So until unless they build that fear psychosis inside everyone, they won't be becoming famous. They don't talk like what I do. One of the famous astrologers, I won't be naming him, now he is very famous, very old aged person. I used to watch his videos 20 years back. From that time I used to follow him. He's not Bejan Darugula, he died. I am not talking about Bejan, but he's someone equal to his stature. So you can understand someone as big as him, he is predicting something regarding the transit of Jupiter in Aries, and he started negatively. And I know that nothing will happen. He started with some scholars will die and this, everyone will die, no. What you are predicting, it's not a prediction. Obviously scholars will die. Every year scholars die. That's not a prediction. You are creating that fear psychosis by starting negatively. So everyone will be getting focused. Okay, he's talking about negative. I didn't start it with the Jupiter transit in Aries with a negative note. Then Surya Grahan. Why? Solar eclipse, don't create a situation of panic. Everyone knows solar eclipse is bad. You shouldn't see that. But don't create a panic. You are an astrologer, and everyone is trying to do encash those events. You all are not tantrics. You all are astrologers. You all are good people. You all should be good people. But I am feeling like they have turned into evil. There are no more astrologers. You want to earn your bread and butter. That's why you are propagating something. That's how you are actually alienating people from astrology. You are creating that fear psychosis in them, in their mind, and they feel scared, and so they don't want to come to an astrologer. You are scaring them. You are scaring your potential clients. That's it. And I can't teach those people actually. They won't be seeing my video. I am talking that thing because don't watch those type of people whosoever starts with a negative note, shut down his video. They won't be doing any good to you. They will be harming you. Once you watch their 30 or 45-minute video, that thing will stay forever in your head. Somewhere it stays in a long-term memory and starts haunting every time there is a solar eclipse, there is a lunar eclipse. This time the lunar eclipse is coming in the Libra sign. I am a Libra. So that will be affecting badly Librans and Aries the most. So still date I haven't made a video regarding that, the video, the remedies. So they are encashing from now only because they know everyone will be scared. Yeah, I know. Moon is Atma, Man, mind. It affects your Atma because it hits your mind. Anyway, on Earth, lunar eclipse takes place, it will affect everyone on Earth. But that doesn't mean that I need to scare everyone. That will be a few day issue. I will be facing that issue because my moon is in my 7th house. I am a Libra and my moon is positioned with Rahu in my birth horoscope. So I will be badly affected because the position is not so good for me. Though it's a strong moon, but because it's a strong moon, it will be affecting me more. So what I can do? I can't leave this earth for 5 days or 10 days. Whatever period, it will be affecting me badly. I have to face those things. Even if I shout, no one will be helping me in those few days. So it's always good to lie low rather than fighting, because you can't fight with your mind, because it's not ready to fight for you. So if I am having many clients who are following my video, I don't need to scare them at least. I'm not ready to slaughter my clients for the future coming clients, because if my viewership increases, many people will watch that video, that's for sure. I'm not here for viewership. I'm here to do genuine astrology. And since I have a very nice Jupiter, very powerful Jupiter, I don't want to spoil that thing, because for the past 10 years or something more than that, I have become an astrologer. So my Jupiter has become more powerful, more active, and my Venus is sitting along with Jupiter and Ketu. It has diminished its powers. Now it's tough for me even to draw a single straight line. Forget about painting. Earlier I was not so bad. Now it has diminished my Venus qualities, because my Jupiter is your right side of the brain, and Venus is the left side of your brain. I am a left-handed. That shows that my Jupiter was always stronger than my Venus from my birth only. The left-handed people, that shows that their Jupiter is much more powerful. There are many things actually. Astrology is related with Vastu, astrology is related with your body, mind, soul, everything. You can't live in an inert atmosphere. And it's not that you can't read Gemini, so what to say, other fields of astrology, and you can't mix those things. Gemini one is there, no? Not Gemini, Gemini. My Hindi is pathetic actually. So he was an astrologer, so he has followed a bit separate path from Parashara. So that doesn't mean that he is not right. We have to study everything, and we have to take help from every aspect of astrology. Even I read numerology. I'm not a numerologist, but still, I'm not an Vastu Shastri, but I'm aware of those things. I can't segregate those things, and I won't be talking about those Vastu things. We have to balance it. So green supports me. This green background supports me, but I can't come every time in this open area and talk, because my house is on a very busy street, so the vehicular traffic is very much, so it disturbs me. So the video quality is not always good. So I don't want to interrupt myself, because once I start with the flow, I go with the flow. So don't cage yourself, or partition yourself, or choose a path means you won't be going to the other field. It's nothing. You need a remedy. Don't be choosy. You have to understand that if something is so there was an interruption. I was talking about it and it happened. Someone came. So you see, while doing astrology, if someone is consulting me, that means I know everything. You can come freely to me, and I'm not always telling everything on YouTube. The reason being is, you all can create havoc in your life with many remedies. If you all listen to those remedies, and that's not relevant, and if you start doing those things, that may have a negative impact. Because after many reasoning, after many logics, I decide upon someone had to do something or not. So someone asks, what is the relevance, that why someone need to come to me? Most of you all, because I have in these few days actually, I have met many people who were doing most of the remedies when they consulted me. they were doing the worshipping of that particular god which they needed to do, and they were doing that fine. Means there was no error in that. But where I stand, because I can clearly tell you all, okay, after 20 years you need to reach this level, you need to follow this path. Now you are blindly following everything. Your God will take you to that place obviously, but with a lot of struggle and all. So if you consult me, the struggle will be less, you won't be wandering, and many times most of the people get lost actually. I'm not talking about everyone, but 50% I think get what to say, they can't reach their goal. It's not because their horoscope is not powerful enough. Whatever the reason you may choose to give for that, many people will say my planets were not so strong, so you need to come to me then, because if you come to me, then I will, that's for sure that you can reach that goal with my help. I know everything, I can explain everything, I can give remedies for everything except for death. That's the Atal Satya, ultimate truth. No one can deny that. But earlier when I was not doing astrology, that time people used to say it's of no significance, we can't change our bhagya. No, that's not sure. Means my Jupiter was not so good. It's sitting with Ketu, it's sitting with Venus. Rahu is seeing it, and my Rahu is in Swati Nakshatra, its own Nakshatra, 18 degrees. Ketu is in Bharani Nakshatra, Venus is in Bharani Nakshatra, Jupiter is in Bharani Nakshatra, Saturn is in Pushya Nakshatra, its own Nakshatra. It's sitting in the 4th and seeing Jupiter, casting its shadow on Jupiter. All the 3 malefics are seeing it. Sun is sitting in that house. Mars is not seeing it because Mars is also in the Pushya Nakshatra with Saturn. So Mars and Saturn combined makes what is a false planet. Means Lal Kitaab has a chapter regarding false planets, means pseudo planets, whatever. Means they are not. When two planets combine, it gives results of a separate planet, and it harms something. So that chapter is very significant, because that thing is not dealt in Vedic astrology. So like my Mars and Saturn combined makes Rahu. That means I have 2 Rahus. So my Rahu is very strong. So you all can understand that all houses are scattered, are being poisoned by Rahu, Ketu, Saturn, Mars, except for most probably the 11th house. Every house is being seen by one planet or the other. Means there is sorry, not 11th, the 12th house in my horoscope. So I jokingly say, see, there is only one way to exit my horoscope, that is moksha. Means until and unless you don't attain moksha, you won't be going out of my horoscope reach. I have a strong horoscope, so it gives good results for good people, it gives bad results for my enemies. When I was young, I used to challenge a lot people. I used to challenge people, okay, come, mess with me and see your position where you will end up. But now I have turned a lot different. So now I say, okay, come to me, now see where I can take you to. Because earlier it was my Rahu which was affecting badly, now it's my Jupiter. Now it's giving fruits to everyone. And that fruit is not from me. That is the depth which I have of my past life, the depth of the 6th house Lord. That fruit is for those people. That's why I can't read my own horoscope. I'm accepting that thing. That's divine God. Whatever He wishes, you can't go against His wishes. So that He has made that thing for me, that I can't go through my own horoscope. I can't even predict the next what it will happen. I'm predicting everyone's life, and I can tell, okay, that day it will happen, and that day it happens. But I can't predict that for me, because there's a saying in Hindi, Chirag Tale Andhera. Jupiter is my ascendant. So that's not helpful for me. And I can't eat that fruit. That fruit is for all my debtors. Sixth house. That's destiny. That's Ketu. He's denying me that fruit. My astrology won't be helpful to me ever. It's of no use to me. Even that money is not useful to me. Either I have to donate that money to someone. Every astrology money has to donate. Either I buy books, or I buy clothes, or I donate that money. Mostly I donate or buy books, because hardly I buy clothes. So that's the irony of many things actually. If I start speaking, I'm not talking about myself, because there is some professional ethics actually. Many people may think that I am very egoist, or I am very rude, or I am very, what to say, I always prefer to talk about myself. It's not like that. There is a word termed as professional ethics, where no one has taught me, but I have learned from my life that we shouldn't talk in public about other people's life. That's not good. So if I quote, I always quote my own horoscope. It is always safer, better. Even if I go at any stretch and I criticize, nothing bad happens. So understand. I'm not saying that after listening to this, come to me. Follow things. Follow your inner instincts. If you are following Vedic astrology, follow that thing. But try to go through Lal Kitab. Whatever remedies it is given in Lal Kitab, that's very potent, that's very good. Don't make up a mind that it's very basic. They work a lot actually. They give quick results within 43 days. If something is working for you, then that's good for you, and that's cheap actually. So there are many significances of Lal Kitab. I am not wasting my time on YouTube, because whatever I am reading, that shorts, that's from Lal Kitab. I am reading, especially I am reading that thing, because I talk a lot. I can't make that smaller in 1 minute, so I have to read. Because if I start speaking about something, I start in details. I can't be in short. So to be in short, I have to read. That's the drawback. Now I don't have to read it. I am not reading this book. So understand that thing and follow. Thank you.